How are you? Well, I think that's a rhetorical question because if you're watching this, of course you're not doing good. I wanted to say and start this monologue with saying good morning, good evening, or something, but I really don't know if it's morning or evening. I see the sun out in the horizon, but like most of you, I've been waking up at odd hours, sleeping at odd hours, so I don't know if it's day or night. I'm feeling very ensnared. If you're confused with my vocabulary, so am I. Ever since lockdown, I've been listening to a lot of Shashi Tharoor, and I thought it would be a good idea to use some ostentatious English words in my monologue. But really, I'm feeling trapped. I just got the news that my astrologer's prediction powers have been put under quarantine. Oh, don't get me wrong. It's not the astrologer himself. It's his prediction power that is under quarantine. So I don't know when it will end. So this is all very strange to me. Speaking of strange, I started getting calls from my relatives. Relatives, the class of people that they know you exist, they exist, but still in social gatherings, you try to smile at each other and not talk to each other because you sometimes don't even know their name. So I started getting their phone calls. And I was very, very happy about it. That they called. Not because they called. It was because I realized that they are more miserable than I am. How do I know? Because just imagine for them to have called me after decades. They should have exhausted their contacts on phone book, on WhatsApp, on Facebook, on Instagram. They would have ended up talking to their pets. They would have ended up talking to their plants, and I should be the last one in the contact list. So that made me feel good because they were miserable than me, and they're more miserable people than me. So of course I'm feeling good about it. And what made me feel better was I'm still only on queue on my contact list. And so if you're my friend and I've not called you, you're probably my Facebook friend. I'll get to you soon. I have 4 more weeks to get through this lockdown. Now, things have changed a lot at work also because of Zoom. Zoom has become a verb. Everybody wants to Zoom. Do you see the stocks are really booming? But in my opinion, their stocks should be going down. I'm not a pessimist, okay? But they made my life really, really hard. That's why I'm telling this. I can no longer take a conference call on my bed, in my underwear, sitting on my toilet because I'm on cam. Getting into a Zoom meeting for me today is like getting into a war zone. I have to get into the camera. There's so many people watching you. It's like an audition, if you've ever done an audition. And I hate being on cameras, but Zoom is making me go on camera for like a few hours a day. To make things worse with Zoom, ever since this work from home and study from home was starting, I was very excited that, I can sleep late, I can wake up late, so, I get more time on bed. But my wife started getting up early morning, 6 o'clock. The reason is she has calls at 9 o'clock on Zoom, and so she has to put up the makeup and put up the best image of herself when she gets into the call. So I can no longer sleep longer because when she's doing her makeup, there's all this noise that happens, like cling, 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 that I cannot sleep. The other thing, my idiotic boss, I try to avoid him. He wants to spend time with me on Zoom. And that puts a lot more pressure because now I have to keep my house clean because I'm on camera with him. So I have to ensure that my house is clean when I get on camera with him. So if you guys, if any of you are in the same stage like me, I have a plan. I am starting to get into Zoom calls in my pajamas and boxers, and I'm going to pretend as if I didn't realize my cam was on, and I do it 2 or 3 times. People will stop inviting me to these calls, and so I can avoid getting onto the cameras. Guys and gals, if you've listened so far, I feel very bad for you because believe me, you are in a very bad state of affair with your mind. There's no point listening to me any further. You must start considering seeking professional help and get back to life. Stay safe, learn something new, stay miserable enough so that you would watch my next video. Thanks.